Good day, everyone. This is Mr. H, the Fine Arts teacher. Today we're going to be exploring the topic of points of view in linear perspective. And remember, for this series of lessons, I'm going to be teaching you two-point perspective, which is when there's two vanishing points. In regard to the topic of points of view, there are three basic points of view that are commonly used, not just in artwork like drawing and painting, but also in things like photography as well. And those three points of view are just a standard eye level, something called bird's eye view, which is when you're looking down at something, and a worm's eye view, which is when you're looking up at a scene. So I'm going to switch our camera position here so that we're looking down at three different examples, one of each. So as we look down at these three images here, you're going to notice that there's one major difference between them, and that is the height of our two vanishing points. So remember, two-point perspective, you do need those two dots to help you to make things look like your objects are getting smaller as they go back into space. This right here is considered to be the standard view, and that's just called an eye-level view. So when we look at this, you'll notice that for the most part, you're not seeing the tops of these objects unless they're lower than the vanishing point, which in this case, there is one object that's lower than the vanishing point, not counting the sidewalk, of course. In this other view right here, we're looking at an image where the vanishing points are above the ones that we were looking at last time. And this one is known as a bird's eye view. So it's as if you're a bird floating up in the sky looking down upon the objects. The last type of view is the worm's eye view, and that's because it's as if you're kind of a worm or something that's very low on the ground looking up at objects that are much taller than you in space. So these types of views are not only used in drawing, but also painting and photography. And as these techniques are applied to other types of things like video games, for instance, or special effects in movies, they can also be relevant to those type of topics as well. So when you're watching any of my videos, if you decide that you don't want to work with the view that I'm showing you, you are welcome to change that. Just bear in mind that it may look different from my examples and may pose some additional challenges. So an example of additional challenge here, you'll notice that, with the little alleyways that go between these buildings, it's really hard to see the difference between the sidewalk and where it meets the bottom of the building. Whereas when you're looking at a standard view or a bird's eye view, you can really see the difference between the wall and the alleyway going between the buildings. So and you can see that up here as well. You can very clearly see the difference between the wall and the ground. So over here, it's a lot less noticeable because the angles are so similar to each other. The other thing that happens is that your angles for things like doors or windows may become much more extreme as you're getting closer to the vanishing point especially. So you can see the angle of the top of the building here is really an extreme angle compared to with the standard view you see here. So feel free to kind of modify your point of view to meet what you would like to see in your drawing.